Hi, everybody. Welcome to the system. Today we're here with Dr. Bartley. Hi, Dr. Bartley. How are you today?
How are you today?
I'm doing really awesome. Thank you for asking. Could you please give us a brief introduction as to who you are, where you grew up, and also your field of study?
Sure. So my name's Jessica Bartley. My field of study is a bit interdisciplinary. My background is in physics. That's what I got my PhD in. But my research is a bit of a mix between cognitive neuroscience. I use neuroimaging to study people's brains. And I also, within that, kind of focus more on educational neuroscience. So I like to look at how people's brains shift and change and reorganize the function of how they work across learning experiences. And because my background is in physics, I tend to focus on learning experiences within physics. So that's what I did my dissertation on, and that's what I'm currently using my research effort in my postdoc to work on too.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, let's see. So I am a postdoc at FIU, and I did my dissertation at FIU too. But I'm originally from, I'm originally from Colorado. I grew up in Boulder, and that's where I did my undergraduate, and I majored in physics and math, and I did a bit of a research emphasis during my undergraduate in physics education research too. Oh, and I used to teach high school physics and math too before I went into academia and went into grad school.
That's so cool. So you've had a diversity of experiences.
It's true.
What has been your favorite? Like, did you like being a teacher? Do you prefer the labs?
I mean, I think my main passion is in teaching and helping students kind of, especially in topics that are particularly difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that this SISTEM program is awesome because, particularly in physics, there's a big gender gap in how many people go into STEM careers that are focused in the physical sciences. And also there's a bit of a performance gap where women tend to maybe underperform on some metrics in physics than men. And in my experience, that's mostly environmental and due to also interest issues. So I really, really do enjoy supporting women students in this field, especially just by helping them learn difficult material, but also being a person that's already kind of gone through this and has made it through, and can be someone that they can look to and be like, oh, I can do it myself too.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. What initially motivated you to pursue a career in STEM? Like as a child, were you fascinated by science?
So this is an interesting avenue I took, actually. When I was young, I really wanted to be an artist when I got older. And somehow through just a bunch of exploration in doing art and just looking at the world around me, I got really, really, really interested and kind of awed by the profound beauty of the natural world and the organization and structure of it.
Yeah.
And that really smoothly transitioned into just me wanting to learn everything I could learn about the underlying structure that makes things like the pattern in like sunflower petals, or like how trees grow, you know, where their leaves choose to optimize the space for where the light hits them. And that really showed me that there was just so much beautiful mathematics and physics in everything, and I just wanted to learn more and more and more about it. So it became really a passion for me.
That sounds awesome. I know you touched upon, well, before that, what has been one of your most memorable moments with like your passion? A moment where you really felt validated?
Let's see, that's a really good question.
Thanks.
God, there are a lot. I mean, one that comes to mind is actually graduating with my PhD in physics, because that was a really big effort, and it really felt so satisfying to reach the end of it and walk on that stage and get my diploma. But I think more formative events throughout the path. I really enjoyed presenting my research at conferences, and particularly at education-oriented conferences, because that was filled with a lot of physics educators and people that were working with students, and they were really, really interested in what I had found in my research to try and see how they might be able to apply it into their classrooms. And it really felt full circle to me every time I presented at those conferences, because people were just really interested in the research I was doing, and they really wanted to apply some of it in their classrooms. And that just came back to kind of my roots in teaching and really wanting to learn this, and how I can integrate it into my own research practices.
Okay, that sounds really cool. For our viewers watching, some of them might not know what a postdoc is or what it entails. Do you mind explaining a little bit as to?
Of course.
Yeah.
So one path, that there are many paths you can take in academia, but one path is to finish your undergraduate, then go to graduate school and get a PhD in the topic that you're interested in doing research in.
Yeah.
After that, if you want to stay working in academia, typically you go into what's called a postdoctoral position, which means you finished your PhD and you still want to do research, and you're maybe interested in going into a faculty position where you're a professor or something like that.
Okay.
There are other reasons to do postdocs, but that's the primary one. Usually it looks somewhat similar to what you would do in graduate school, where you have a mentor that you work with and you do research and you publish papers, and you have some students and other helpers that you can kind of mentor along the way.
That sounds awesome. It sounds like a lot of work, but also very rewarding.
It is. It's both a lot of work and very rewarding.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so touching upon that, what are your ultimate goals as like a woman in STEM? Like, where do you want to see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Oh, it's such a good question. I wish I had a really good answer for it, but I kind of feel like I'm maybe myself in a little bit of a transition period, because for a long time I did want to stay in academia, so that I could be a professor and work with students, and keep doing research and that whole track. And I still am really attracted to that idea, but I have found that I kind of really like working with younger students a little bit more than working with college-age students. And so I'm trying to figure out whether I do want to keep going down the tenure track path, or if I want to branch off and go into some kind of teaching path that is not quite within academia. I am actually thinking I might want to go into education technology, which is industry field that kind of develops tools to implement within classrooms in kind of a widespread way, and help students in that way. So I'm kind of trying to make a transition right now, or decide whether or not I want to make a transition. But in 5 years, hopefully I'll be either way I choose. Hopefully I'll be still doing research and still working with students.
Yeah, I know you have plenty of time anyways, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize that go into STEM. There are a lot of different paths that you can take.
Yes, I know exactly.
In academia. Yeah, or you can go into industry, or like my partner, he also got his PhD in physics, and he went into industry, and there's like a whole world of opportunities for him there. It's a whole world. It really does open up a lot of doors, and it's not just research, and it's not just teaching.
Yeah.
Those just happen to be my passions.
So like, to continue on that, what are the benefits of pursuing a career with physics? I know you said like the whole industry path, but what are like, I guess, the other paths that you could take with a degree in physics?
Yeah, so there are a lot. I think I wish I had the link to, there's some awesome data on this. There's the American Association of Physics takes a survey of undergraduate physics majors and graduate uh, uh, people who have been awarded graduate degrees in physics and tracks their career paths. And I'm going off of memory here, but I think the top three are definitely academia, industry, and teaching. Um, and I know there are more, I just can't remember what they are, but there are like lots of different subfields in them. I think the benefits of going into a physical science degree, either in undergraduate or graduate, are frankly pretty numerous. Off the top of my head, I mean, the first thing is it really teaches you how to think and problem solve.
Yeah.
And those are skills that are just like used everywhere. It really helps me, it helps me organize my thoughts, and it gives me a whole set of skills that I use every day and can apply to so many different places. I also have found that I don't want to sound like a little bit of an arrogant physicist here, because sometimes we have a tendency to be a little arrogant in our field, but
okay.
but having a physics degree does, I find, often mean that you can do a number of different science-related career paths, just because it creates such a foundation of how to think and having mathematical skills and being able to problem solve and work with computers and collect data and create hypotheses and really analyze situations in a way that it trains you really to how to do that well. So I've known people that have gone from physics degrees and gone into climate science research, which
Wow.
isn't directly related to physics, but definitely has same modeling stuff. There's a lot of physicists actually in neuroimaging, which is where I am, because that involves a lot of computer simulations and a lot of like statistical modeling and stuff. There's physicists in political science looking at modeling polls or something like that. So there, it's numerous. You can go in so many different directions. And personally, I find that if you have a physics degree on your resume, a lot of people like look at you and kind of pay attention to you a little bit more than some other guys. Yeah,
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for female undergraduate students watching this right now who are interested in pursuing a degree in physics, or even a career in physics, a PhD, a postdoc?
You know, just keep going after your passion, and find a community that supports you in doing what you want to do. I know that there are some barriers that can make things difficult. I know that imposter syndrome is a really big thing for women in physics and women in this field. I feel it too, but it is often, well, it's 100% something you can overcome, and it helps to have a really good community. Have confidence in your ability to do it, because you can do it, and just have fun. And if you're feeling like it's too hard, or you're not able to make it all the way through, let yourself feel the feelings and then come back to it and be all like, oh wait, actually this is okay, I can do this. So yeah, and keep doing it, because we really do need some more women in this field, because we are improving the field by being in it. So
yeah, that's absolutely true.
Thank you for going into this path.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Bartley. Do you have any last comments to make?
I just think that SISTEM seems like a really awesome organization, and if I can help anybody in any ways, please post my email and email me. I'm happy to talk about career paths, or any problems or issues you might be experiencing in STEM, because one of my passions, like I said, is really helping people go through kind of difficult times or understanding difficult things in this field. So thanks so much, Maria, for
Yes,
organizing.
of course. Thank you. Bye, guys. I hope to see you in the next video.
Bye!